Thank you, ma'am. So we have uploaded 3 PDF files containing how to use Jupyter Notebook, how to use Google Colab, and Introduction to PyTorch. Other than this, there is another PPT we'll upload, that is Introduction to Python. So let me start with Introduction to Jupyter Notebook, how you will use Jupyter Notebook. So why we are using Jupyter Notebook? Because this is for Introduction to Python. So you have to use any type of IDE. So in case of Python or any data science based project, basically we prefer Jupyter. So Jupyter you can install using 2 ways. One is using Anaconda. That is a distribution which has both Python and R software tools available. Like it has Spider, SciPy, Jupyter Notebook, Conda, and many other applications available in a single package. You can download the Anaconda from www.anaconda.com. When you click on the link, you will go to this particular website. You have to download the complete package from here. It will give you the package with Python 3. So those who don't have Jupyter or Anaconda installed in your system, you can install if you want to work offline in your system. So in my case, I have already like Anaconda is installed in my system. So this is Anaconda Navigator. It is a little heavy application, so it takes time. It is giving some error. So it takes time to load. I'm not loading because my system is is hanging today. I don't know what is the reason. So this is the Anaconda platform. So let me start the main application, that is Jupyter Notebook. So here you can see it is showing Jupyter Notebook with TensorFlow_GPU, with PyTorch, and one is with Anaconda 3. When you install Anaconda in your system, for the first time, you will see Jupyter Notebook with Anaconda 3. That is your base variable or base environment. Generally, when you work with Python, we prefer to create multiple environments so that one environment will not affect the other. Like there will be a separate environment for TensorFlow, another one is for PyTorch. And if multiple users are there, then they can create their own environment and then work in their environment and install multiple utility or whatever packages they want for the application. Let me start this TensorFlow GPU. So this is the, let me start it with Edge because of Chrome, maybe my system is hang, I don't know. Okay, this is the local environment of Jupyter Notebook. This is the files menu where you will have various folders and files available. So you can see.
So Purnima, is there anybody who is going to help you in answering the questions?
Ma'am, I have
former
talked
student,
to Samir sir will be here. I have talked to Samir sir, he will be here.
Okay. So my former student Vinagar, very old student of mine, is asking, is there any add issue with the Anaconda and Python Active Directory means?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There is
no issue. Fine.
No, ma'am. So you can see there are multiple files and folders available. Based on the requirement, you can go ahead with the particular file. Here you will see the running files. From this menu, I can shut down the running file, and there are multiple clusters available if you are using IPython in parallel mode. So if I want to create a new notebook, I will go to this files menu and then I'll click on this new. And then there are multiple options. I can create Python 3 notebook, one text file or folder, or I can open the terminal as well. So let me create a Python 3 notebook. So this is the offline environment of your Jupyter. When you click on this untitled, you can rename it. There are multiple menus available. From here, you can create a new notebook. You can open an existing notebook. You can make a copy of this notebook. You can download it. There are multiple options available. This is your edit menu to edit the cells in your notebook. This is to set the view options of your notebook. This is to insert cell. This is to run your cells or change the visualization of your cells. This is for complete kernel. You can start, you can shut down the Python kernel from this particular menu. And this is for help of this Jupyter notebook. So this particular box is called as a single cell. You can see currently it is blue. When you click on the particular box, it will convert in green. You can see here. So these are the shortcuts of these menus to save, to add one more cell, to cut a cell, copy, paste, to like change the position of the cell, to move it upwards or downwards, to run particular cell, to stop the kernel execution, to restart the kernel. And this is to restart the kernel and rerun the complete notebook. A single cell is of 3 types, or in this case, in Jupyter, you will have a single cell of 4 types. The first one is the code cell that we will use most of the time. Other are the comment cells like markdown, raw, NB convert, and heading. These are the comment where you can write the comments of the code. Okay. So to run a particular cell, let me write over here, print. So to run, you can directly click on this run button, or you can use shift enter or control enter. When you use control enter, your control will be in the same cell. It will be over here only. When you use shift enter, your control will go to the next cell. Like that, you can run the cell. So if anyone has any doubt, you can write it in the chat box. Is it clear to you all? Participants? Someone has raised hand. Okay, let me answer. So I request you to please instead, okay, so go to, if to download the Jupyter, you have to go to Anaconda. That is, I think I should.
So Purnima, 4 yes, participants have raised hand. I'm asking one by one. Neha, yes, you please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this is an hands-on. So I have some query in the session and only. Actually, host has muted the participants. Actually,
yes,
that's
we have
dropped the message.
No, Neha, please yes, listen to what I'm saying. We
yes,
will mute you. We will ask you to unmute yourself. So basically, okay, what happens that we have run this program for many years. We know that if whenever we give the right to the participants, some participant will keep on. It happens with, say, 300 participants. It's difficult to manage, right? So whenever you have a problem, you please raise your hand.
Oh,
right?
okay, ma'am. Okay, fine. I can understand.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question with Purnima,
yes,
ma'am. I have a question. Ma'am, yes, actually, I'm very much new to this Python language to me, and I'm just starting with this Anaconda. I have a question that before starting working in the Anaconda, do we have to install few libraries before, or necessary libraries, and how can we install them in Anaconda?
No need to install anything prior to Anaconda. You can directly install this Anaconda, download Anaconda installer. Then you will get one package. You have to install that. Through that, you have to install Anaconda, and directly you can access Jupyter Notebook. Inside that, if you want to install any package, you can do that. That we will explain now.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
So those who want to work,
yeah,
yes, sorry,
Charu, you can unmute yourself. Charu.
गुड इवनिंग मैम. यस मैम, क्लास थोड़ा फास्ट हो रहा है, थोड़ा सा स्लो कीजिए.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mute yourself. Atul Pandey, you please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening to all of you, ma'am.
Good evening.
मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि हम जब पाइथन वर्जन को डाउनलोड करते हैं फ्रॉम द ऑफिशियल पाइथन वेबसाइट, दैट इज python.org, देन हमारे पास एक डिफॉल्ट आइडियली शेल डाउनलोड हो जाता है. तो व्हाई वी आर नॉट यूजिंग दैट आइडियली शेल, व्हाई वी आर गोइंग टू Anaconda version, Anaconda ideally? What is the advanced thing in the ideally which is not present in the default ideally shells?
So, ma'am.
Yeah, Anaconda is basically an environment.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can use definitely directly you can use from the Python official version.
Yes, ma'am.
But Anaconda, yes, please. Please go ahead.
For data science, we should use these type of ID because we have to show the intermediate results, and the data is in multiple n-dimensional format. Data is very large, so through command.
There are various advantages of using any environment.
Okay.
I mean, you can start with Python, but Conda will give you a different experience, and especially with the what Purnima is saying, with the data science, with the machine learning, it's good to have an intermediate results and check, tune your hyperparameters, tune your models, as we shall see in later lectures, right?
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Suman, you unmute yourself.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Yeah.
Yes, Purnima, I want to ask, you were saying we can create different environments here, like for TensorFlow, we can create different environment, and for PyTorch, we can create different. So how is that possible, ma'am?
That we will show you. Definitely, we will.
Okay, we'll be discussing about that, no?
Yes.
Right. Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
So it seems the questions that you are asking, let us continue with the program. I mean, otherwise, so when we continue with the program, you will get the answers to those questions yourself. If by the end of this program, if you don't get it, maybe she can take a break so we started at 6, she can take a break at around 7 and she can ask you. Because otherwise the flow, like we will not be able to proceed further. If you all agree, we can continue, right? So, because there are so many hands raised, so I thought, let me ask you, right? Fine. So those who have raised hand, I request them, please write on the chat box. We will answer your questions. And meanwhile, you can, let's let the flow of the program continue. Thank you so very much for your cooperation, friends.
So you can download Anaconda from this particular link. Install it. It is a heavy software. So if you have RAM less than 8 GB, don't install. You can directly install Jupyter or Spider. Okay. So many of you have asked that, can I use Jupyter? Can I use Spider or Colab? We are going ahead with Colab as well. This is the offline version. So those who have GPU capabilities in your system, they can use this particular Jupyter notebook. This is the one way to install Jupyter using Anaconda. But if you have less memory or in your system, you can directly install Jupyter Notebook using this https jupyter.org, or you can use the online version of Jupyter Notebook. But the better to use the offline version because your data is in offline environment. If you use online, then there will be lack of data reading and uploading capabilities in online Jupyter version.
So the question, another question is that, can you see the chat box, Purnima?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there are multiple.
Just see a couple of questions, because some people are asking, should I add Anaconda to Mac OS or to a Linux path? And this regarding files shown initially in the drive. I didn't get any drive link. So please, can you answer those questions? These are important. So we are taking those questions. Yeah.
So I will paste the drive link again. And regarding the environment, if you are using Linux or Ubuntu environment, then also you can install Anaconda in your system or Jupyter Notebook in your system. We have already done this, and no need to add that path in your bash RC file in case of Ubuntu, and in system path in this Windows, it will directly add it. And to create environment, we will show you, you have to start Anaconda prompt. When you search for Anaconda, you'll see this Anaconda prompt is here. I've started. You can see here, one base variable is defined. This is the system variable. So generally we don't touch this base variable because many other application depends on this. So if you are working with Conda, there is a functionality, Conda create dash and name of your, then you have to tell the name of the environment. Suppose I am writing dummy, and after that, you can write the packages you want in this particular environment, or you can separately install the packages. So a Conda environment already exists. I'm quitting it.
So Manojit is asking, I have a GPU but not able to connect with Anaconda.
So if you have GPU in your system, you have to install TensorFlow GPU capabilities. First of all, you have to install CUDA in your system that you can download from NVIDIA website. After that, you have to download CUDNN from NVIDIA website. You have to at least download CUDA with CUDA 11, same with CUDNN 11 point something 2 or 4. And after downloading CUDNN, you have to copy the CUDNN packages in the CUDA install files. After that, you have to install TensorFlow GPU package in your system. These are the 3 steps you have to work with when you want to use the capabilities of your GPU in your local system. Okay, I will repeat it again with a slow pace. First of all, you have to install CUDA. If you are working offline, you have to install CUDA from NVIDIA website. This is for those who have NVIDIA GPU in your system. So you can see the current version of CUDA is 11.6. You have to download it. This is for those who have GTX, RTX, some other GPU cards in the system. If you are working with Linux, you have to download the Linux package. For Windows, I'm clicking on Windows. Then this is the architecture, that is 64. Then the version I am using is 10, and I want it in local. So it will give me a exe file that we have to install. After installing, it will be installed in your program files somewhere in your C. Then you have to download CUDNN. For that, you have to log into NVIDIA. It will ask you to log in. So download CUDNN. If you don't have NVIDIA ID, you have to create one. So after downloading the CUDNN, based on the CUDA environment in your system, if you have 11.2, so you have to download CUDNN with 11.2. If you have 4, accordingly, you have to download. So you can see for 11.5. So you can see for 11.6, there is no CUDNN available. So in place of 11.6 CUDA, you have to install 11.5 CUDA in your system. And then you have to download the CUDNN. This is a zip file. It will give you some files inside the folder. You have to access those files and copy some 4 to 5 files from CUDNN to the CUDA installed directory. Is it clear? After that, you have to install TensorFlow GPU. So either you can install using conda command or using pip command. That also we will show you. Please wait. We will try to complete it. So if you have not created one environment, please create using conda create. Then to change, I have to write source activate. Okay, this will not work here. I have Windows in my system. Conda activate. So I have base dummy. Okay, dummy I have. So you can see now the variable has changed. So you can install any package using conda install, package name, or pip install. So whenever needed, we will tell you how to install packages. Can we go ahead, because we have to cover a lot of topics. I have already told you to create the variable, you have to write conda create -n, then name of the variable you want to create, environmental variable. Conda create -n, name of the environmental variable. Then to change the variable, you have to write conda activate name of the variable. So your variable will be changed. Now your environment is changed. You can install multiple packages in this particular environment. So these part we have done. Let's go ahead with another file, that is Introduction to Google Collaboratory. Many of you were asking, can we use Google Collaboratory in place of local Jupyter Notebook? Yes, you can use, but we want to show you how you can work offline. So we have started with Jupyter Notebook. The very first thing is Jupyter Notebook, which we have explained that you can use for offline processing of your data. If you have GPU capabilities in your system, you can use Jupyter Notebook. Install CUDA, CUDNN, and then you can use your TensorFlow GPU capability, your GPU capabilities either using TensorFlow or using Keras for this particular workshop. If you don't have GPU in your local system or the RAM capability is low, then you can go to online version of Jupyter Notebook, That is Google Collaboratory, a service provided by Google. So now we are moving towards online version of Jupyter Notebook. Both are same. Jupyter and Colab both are same, but when you are working offline, your data is in your system as well as your notebook is there, then the processing is fast if your data is low or less. And if you are working with collaboratory and your data will be in your drive. When you process your data from drive, it takes time to reading data from your drive. So that is input output time is more, but as Colab provides GPU, your process will be fast. If you have server at your system, any NVIDIA based server from the institute you belongs to, you can use that particular system and you can use Jupyter Notebook in that system. Collaboratory, initially when they have launched, it provides you n number of facilities without much of restrictions. But nowadays, from last year, Collaboratory has launched their premium version, that is Google Colab Pro and Pro Plus Plus. So if you will use Pro, they will increase your duration or activation time. If you will use Pro Plus, then they will give you some more facilities. So I think they will charge you monthly some $12 to $13 for Pro and some $25 for Pro Plus. If you have large data and large computation, you can go to Colab Pro. Okay, let me share the drive link again. So most of the application which we will show will be on Google Collaboratory. So on your browser, when you type Google Collaboratory, it's a little slow. Let me change the network. So you will find this research.google.com Collaboratory. Yes, you can use Google Collaboratories for all the sessions. When you open this, if you are not logged in with your mail ID or you are using Collaboratory for the first time, it will ask you to sign in. And then you will find there are multiple examples are available. Overview of Collaboratory, Markdown, charts in Collaboratory, multiple example exercises are here for machine learning and data science. This is from my drive. These are other notebooks from my drive. This is from GitHub, and from this menu I can upload. So I request you all to please start Google Collaboratory. Now we will start the hands-on session. So I request you all. And when you open this collab.research.google.com, then you will find there is one option. This new notebook option is there. Please click on this. And nowadays, Collaboratory has spent, like, they are giving ensure that
Purnima,
yes, ma'am.
files, suppose they they are available in this drive link, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Because somebody wrote that please share all files in WhatsApp group. We don't have any WhatsApp group or in chat box, so that we have shared already. This drive link
Yes,
from
ma'am.
here you can get, yeah. And Purnima, there are requests that please make it slow.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we have, so I'm requesting Mr. Vinayagar to unmute himself. He has raised hand. Vinay, have you raised hand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Purnima, ma'am, just I have one question here. Google Colab, I have just downloaded and all these things. I have done that. So just asking very basic question that in Collaboratory there is nothing. Means I'm not seeing any notebooks here. So you have shown us at least 10 to 12 notebooks. So how to get that?
Okay, let me show it again.
Yes, ma'am, please.
So this is collab.research.google.com. It will show you. This is the pop-up for the first time for this URL. If you are signed in through your Google, if you are signed in for the first time, so let me show you that also.
Can you paste this on the
Yes, ma'am.
collab.research? Yeah. Thank you.
So you must have got something like this. You have to sign in. So for those who are signing in for Colab for the first time, please allow Colab to access your email. Then you will see this pop-up. And then you, in this examples menu, you will see multiple Colab notebooks. Is it clear, sir?
Yes, he has muted, I think so.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I'm creating a new notebook from here, or you can create using that pop-up also. It is online Jupyter, so most of the things will be same as Jupyter. But as it is a cloud-based service, so multiple packages are already installed. So this file will be there in your drive. So let me tell you where this file will be saved. For that, please open your drive. When you go to my drive, there is one folder, this Colab notebook, this yellow folder is there, Colab notebooks. By default, all your notebooks will be created over here. So this is notebook 56, which is this. Okay. But if you want to create the notebook on a particular location, for example, let me create it in a shared folder. If you want to create it somewhere in a fixed location in your drive, that also you can do. Suppose I am creating the notebook here. From more, you can see, please, those who don't know, please see once, because otherwise you may miss something. Click on this plus new, then more. Here you will see Collaboratory, Google Collaboratory. If you are not able to access Google Collaboratory from here, you have to click on this connect more apps. And here, just search for Collaboratory. And then you have to click on this Collaboratory. Then you have to install. In my case, I have already installed. If you are using Collaboratory for the first time, you have to install it in your apps. Okay, I will repeat. Click on this plus new, then click on more. Here you will find Google Collaboratory. If not, click on this connect more apps. Then here, search for Collaboratory. Click on this Collaboratory. And then here you will find install button. Install it. And for the next time, you will have Collaboratory over here. So just go to the place where you want to install, where you want to create a new notebook and create notebook using Google Collaboratory. So you will see this is the notebook it has created. View is almost same as offline Jupyter notebook. By clicking on this, you can change or rename the notebook name. These are the multiple menus to duplicate, download, upload. Multiple menus are here. This is for editing the cells, cut, paste, copy, delete. This is to change the visualization of the cells and this Collaboratory notebook. This is to insert the cell. This is for your kernel. So somebody was asking what is kernel. So that is your Python cell. In background, Python is running. So it is based on that. From here, you can run multiple cells. You can stop the execution. You can change the runtime. This is the most important part which we have to show you that we will use when you are working with large size data. That is change runtime type. Currently, your notebook is working with CPU. If you want to use the GPU capabilities, you can change the hardware accelerator from none to GPU. Collaboratory also provides you TPU facilities, that is tensor processing unit other than GPU. You can use those based on the requirement. So you can see it is giving you warning that avoid using a GPU unless you need one. Earlier, you can use GPU a lot of time, maybe 4 to 5 days continuously. But from last year, they have restricted. So runtime, change runtime, and then hardware accelerator as GPU or TPU. Don't change currently. When we will work with images and videos, other large data, then we will change it. Then this tools for set up your Collaboratory environment. Then this is for help of Collaboratory. Other than this, you can see there are two types of cells present in Collaboratory. One is this code cell where you can write code, and one is text cell where you can write the comments related to your cells. Here you can see this is to create the comment. This is to share your notebook with other collaborators. This is to change the settings of this Collaboratory, and this is for your account. Next is this connect menu. This is to connect your notebook to the cloud environment. Currently, this notebook is not working. If you want to connect it, either write something here and then run this notebook, or connect the notebook to the cloud. So I'm clicking on this connect. So it will allocate and it will connect you to the allocated location of the cloud. It will give you 12 GB of memory. You can see it is giving 12 GB, 12.69 GB of RAM. and 107 GB of storage. In a single cell, multiple options are available. These will be enabled when we have multiple cells. This is to get the link your cell with the other part. This is to add the comment, setting the cell, copy pasting, and this is to delete the cell. To run your cell, you can click on this run cell button. You can use these options, or you can use Control Enter and Shift Enter. Control Enter will not go the control to any other cell. When you use Shift Enter, your control will go to the next cell. Is it clear to you all? Okay, so let's go ahead. I request you to please check it once and then do it in your system. These are some more menus you have in Collaboratory. This will give you a table of content that will be here, the structure of your Collaboratory. This is for search. This is to use the code snippet tool. This is to create what are the variables you have in the notebook. And this is to access the files and folders in the your environment. So when you click on these files, I request all of you to please see first, then you can go ahead. When you click on this this folder icon, that is a files menu, you will see some more options. This is upload to session storage. If you want to upload some file in this notebook environment, that will be deleted after 12 hours. So be careful. If you want to upload something, upload it in the drive. Otherwise, your data will be lost.
There is a somebody who has raised his hand. Anjani, will you please unmute yourself and ask a question? Anjani?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, bole, please. You have asked. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
आपको कुछ पूछना है जी?
Yes, ma'am. I have a two question, ma'am.
Yeah, please continue.
मैम जब गूगल कोलैब में जब मैं प्रोग्राम को रन करता हूँ तो उसमें जब इपोक में 200 सपोज डेट इपोक मैंने 200 लिया तो वन इपोक में 5 या 6-7 मिनट लगते हैं तो 12 घंटा से ज्यादा।
अंजनी जी, जब हम लोग ये करेंगे तब आप पूछ लीजिएगा। मुझे लगा आप कभी फंस गए हो इसलिए पूछ रहे हो। ये सब हम लोग जब ब्रेक देंगे ना तब आप जरूर पूछ लीजिएगा, ठीक है? ओके, थैंक यू।
Thank you, ma'am. So you will find this upload option through which you can upload any file or folder. Next is this is to reset or refresh the uploaded session to check your file is uploaded or not. Then this is the third menu is very important that we use most of the time, that is mount drive. So after clicking on this folders option or files option, you have to click on this mount drive to access the data from drive. When you click on this, it will ask you for permission. You can see in my case, it is asking me to connect to Google, right? It is asking for permission. After giving the permission, it is saying that mounting Google Drive in the left bottom corner, mounting Google Drive. Here you can see one more option is now available other than sample data, that is drive. Now I can explore my drive. So you can see all the folders are here. You can see these are the files we have. I'm right clicking or I'm clicking on these three dots and clicking on copy path. And then it provides you Ubuntu or Linux based environment. So all the commands which you can run on Ubuntu are able to run here also. So these are the files inside this particular folder. Now, please do the same in your system, in your Google Collaboratory, mount your drive. If you are not able to do it, I will repeat it, but first try to do it. Click on this files menu, then mount drive, and then you have to use CD, and somewhere at your drive you have to change the current working directory and then ls. Please do it. I'm waiting for your response. If you are able to do it, then also you can respond, or if there is any issue, then also you can write it in the chat box or you can raise your hand. In Google Collaboratory, most of the basic packages are already installed, like TensorFlow, PyTorch, NumPy, Matplotlib. The basic packages are there. If you want to use some special packages based on your project or application, then you have to install it. That also we will show you how you can do. Yes, sir. You are asking something?
Yeah, actually, good evening, ma'am. Actually, I want to ask regarding the privacy issues related to the use when we use the cloud, with Google Cloud, and we keep some data in the memory it is given. So, is there any privacy issues which are violated?
If you have some data that you can't upload on Google Drive, so don't use Collaboratory. Otherwise, there is no such privacy issue. I don't think so. It depends on your data. If you have any confidential data that you cannot upload, then you cannot use Collaboratory.
Okay, so it's for only for this applications, whatever we are doing, using for.
Yes,
program.
if your data is more private, so better to use Jupyter Notebook on a local system. Yes, you can ask, sir.
Yeah, just now I got the answer.
Rajesh, sir, you are want to ask something?
Yeah, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
If I have a bunch of images like 100, 200 images in my drive, you can
Yes,
easily access through Mount Drive at the same time.
Yes, sir. We have accessed up to some 60, 70,000 images at the same time. But when you are running some model, initially it takes time to read, but later on the process is easier.
But the thing is, I went through some of the example. It will be showing. It will the people will taking the image from website web link. So, but I have my own data, so which will be in my drive. Yeah, I can access that. No.
Yes, sir. That we will show you in upcoming sessions how you can access the data from drive.
Okay.
Amit, you have a question? Amit Pandey?
Yes, ma'am. I was just trying to connect to Google Drive,
Okay.
right? Mount the Google Drive, but it's taking too much time, and then I'm not able to execute the same code which you have mentioned, because by default it is coming something like from Google Colab import drive mount, and then content /drive.
Okay. So let me tell you that also. Unmounting.
Yeah.
And now I have to remount to explain you. So if you don't have this type of pop-up to for permission, and suppose you have clicked on no thanks, so it will give you this type of code,
Okay.
which is same as the earlier one using the pop-up. When you run this,
yes,
when you run this, there should be one URL. In my case, it is not giving, but in your case, there must be some URL.
No, I'm also getting same window, ma'am.
Okay, so just allow it with your drive. You have to just give the permissions. And then it will mount. Earlier, the process was that you have to click on the URL. Then it will give you one authentication code that you have to paste in the text area they give.
Okay.
So this is the process.
So by doing this, so whatever my Python code will be there, so
Yes.
notebook will be there. It will be stored in my Google Drive, and that we can import.
Yes, you can access all the data from the drive.
Okay. And is it like this is one-time exercise, or every time whenever I log into Google Colab, I need to do this exercise?
So every time you have to do this. Every time for a new notebook.
Oh, yeah.
For
So this is
Colab,
persistent.
yes, yes. If you will not be disconnected for 12 hours, then this notebook will be work for 12 hours. After that, you have to reconnect.
Oh, so every time whenever we have a new session, so I need to again upload the drive, mount the drive.
Mount
Google.
drive. Yes.
Okay.
So it gives us 12 hours of access. These options we have already done. How you can create the collaboratory, how you can rename it, how to change the GPU we have done. Next is this part that we will do now, and how you can save or download the notebook. So I think all of you are able to mount your drive, and then you can change the current working directory using this cd command. And using ls, you can check the list of files and directory in your present working directory. Madhvi ma'am, do you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. It is asking of permissions, ma'am. When I clicked on run anyway like that, because you are asking of request permission of my drive files like that. We have to give it a run anyway, right?
Yes, to give permission.
Okay. Is it safe, ma'am? Suppose if you have any data also, it won't. We won't lose it, right?
No, you will not lose any data because the service is by Google and we are accessing Google Drive itself.
Okay.
Not a third-party software.
Okay.
Purnima, two quick questions. One is what does this exclamation ls command mean, and how to create a new cell to write the code?
Okay, ma'am.
Exclamation ls.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this exclamation we use to run any Linux command. Sometimes we have to use this ampersand to retain the execution of particular command. ls to list all the directories and files in a particular location. So currently I am in this folder, this FDP Feb 2022. So to list the files and folder in this folder, inside the folder, I will write exclamation mark with ls. So these are the files we have in this folder. To create a new cell, either you can click on this code plus code button, or when you hover over here in between two notebooks, you will find this code is there, or you can use shift enter. If you are currently in this cell and you use shift enter, a new cell will be created. You can see currently 3 blank cells are here. If I will use shift enter, a new cell will be created.
हेलो मैम।
Yes, please.
एक्चुअली मुझे ये पूछना था कि जो भी ये क्लास चल रही है मैम, इसका क्या हमें बाद में वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग अवेलेबल होगा? बिकॉज मॉर्निंग
Pankaj, we are not going to answer these questions right now. Please ask only those questions which are related to session. We'll answer you. Please write in the chat box.
So those who are getting error, I'm explaining again. Click on files, then this mount drive. Either you have to give the permission. If you will not give the permission, one code will appear to you. Run this code. In my case, it will say I'm already mounted. In your case, it will pop up a new window for permission. And somebody was writing something in the chat box. Let me see that also. From Google Colab import drive. So you have used exclamation mark just before from. That is not a Linux command, so don't use exclamation before that. So I think collaboratory mounting is done.
Value error is coming. I'm unable to mount. Question.
Ma'am, I am not able to see.
So, no, she is writing to me only. That's why I'm telling you the questions. Value error is coming. I am unable to mount. Samir, I think you can answer those.
Ma'am, they are not writing to me. So yes, ma'am.
That's the problem I'm getting. Like, so.
Ma'am, I'll write
that. Okay, so Purnima, will you please answer these questions? In fact, some people are finding difficulty mounting the drive. One more person has also written, like somebody Thalseen.
Disconnect. First, disconnect this session. This notebook session.
We will demonstrate to you once again. Okay. So.
So I'm creating a new notebook. And to mount it with the Google Drive, I'm clicking on this files, this particular menu, files. So first of all, it will connect me to the cloud server. Then you can see one folder is here, sample_data. Then next, to mount this in Drive, I have to click on this folder, mount drive. Then one pop-up will appear to you. If you will click on connect to drive, it will connect you directly. If you will click on no thanks, this type of code will appear. When you run this, again one pop-up will appear. That will ask you for permission. Please allow all the permissions because this is a service from Google. So now you can see mounted at this particular location. My drive is mounted again. So I think now you can do it. We are giving you some 1 minute to do the same. After that, you can write to, I think better to write to everyone so that we can see. So in case of Anjit sir, so I think you have changed this mount position. Please check. It should be /content/drive. If you will change this, you will encounter the error you are getting. That mount point must be in the directory that exists. Your mount point has changed. Please check. Mount point is /content/drive. And it is in quotes. Or maybe you have deleted something from here, maybe from this particular location. Maybe you have deleted content folder or something. So better to create a new notebook. If the command is same, then better to create a new notebook, because either it's /content. Anjit sir, you have to use / just before content. If you will not use /, it cannot access from the base directory. So now let's go ahead with the next part. Okay, there are some more questions. Somebody is asking what is %. So when you use this % sign, that is generally known as magic sign. So your command result will be persist throughout the environment. That is when you change the directory and use this magic sign, the next command will be depends on the result of this. If you will directly use !cd or only cd, then your next cell will be started from this particular location. And the cd command is change the directory, change the current working directory. So now let's go ahead with introduction to Python. So we are starting with very basics of Python. Python is a high-level programming language developed in 1985 to 1990. It is a simple and a portable language which allows you to incorporate multiple utilities or multiple packages like NumPy, TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch, and a number of other packages. So in this session, we will use Jupyter Notebook or Google Collaboratory to write the codes. Either you can use the offline version of your Jupyter Notebook or the Collaboratory. So the first thing is to check the version of the Python. That you can do using !Python -- version. So let's run it. You can see, I think I should increase the font. You can see when I'm running this command, I'm getting the version as Python 3.7.12. Next is to display the output on the screen. For that, in Python, you have print command. So use print. Here you can either write any variable or any string. The result will be just after the cell. Next is indentation. So Python is indent sensitive. That is, if you want to write anything inside, suppose for loop, while loop, or function, in place of curly braces, here you have to give the indentation. For example, I'm writing here. So if you write in other languages, you have to give the braces over here like this to show the what is the area your if will be working. So in case of Python, you have to use colon in place of curly braces, and later on you have to use the indented blocks. Suppose I'm writing just after if in the same line. So it will give us indentation error, that it expected an indented block. That means either you have to indent this scope of your if using single space, multiple spaces, or tab. It depends on you. I'm giving a space and then it will run properly. So in case of Google Collaboratory, you will get the Python version as 3.7.12. But if you are working offline, then in your system, there are chances that you have Python in a lower version, maybe 3.6 or 3.5. You can update that to get the latest version of the Python. Next is commenting. In Python, you can comment particular line using hash just before the line, or you can use 3 times single quotes or double quotes to start and end the commenting. The shortcut of commenting particular code is select the code you want to comment and use, then you can use control question mark sign. Then it will comment. You can see it is using multiple line hash to comment the line. I'm again selecting and using control question mark button to comment and uncomment the codes. Other than this, you can also use 3 times single quote or double quote. So it will treat whatever you will write inside these codes, it will treat it as some content you want to show as text. So you can see this is treating it as text, and it is showing the text over here as output, not as code. So in Python, you can define the variables by just writing the name of the variable and then the value. To display the value, I'm writing print name. Similarly, We are waiting for some time and we request you to please complete it. We are waiting for a minute maybe. Please complete it so that we can go ahead. If you are getting any error or any issue, please write it in the chat box. So you can change the data type of any variable by just passing the variable name in a function with the changed data type. And to check the current data type, you can pass the variable inside this type function. This is of type int. This is of type, sorry, there is typo. This is of type a string. Suppose I want to change this variable as string, so I will pass it in str function. And then I will store it again in a same variable. And this time when I will check the data type, so you can see earlier it was int, now it's string. So earlier it was 789, this time this is 789 with quotes. If I want to change it to float, so this is the float value. I think this is clear to you all. We can typecast the variable using these functions str, int, float, complex. So accordingly, your data will be changed. Next is various data types in Python. So in Python, we have string, integer, float, complex, list, tuple, dictionary, and many other data types. Based on the requirement, we use the data type. So in case of this particular FDP, most of the time we will use list and dictionaries other than string, integer, and float values. So let me explain you what are the list. So list stores multiple data type in a single variable. Multiple data with different data types can be stored in a single variable inside the list. There are two ways to create the list. I will explain you one by one both the ways. I'm creating a list academies using this bracket symbol, or you can say that array symbol you use in multiple languages. I'm creating so I've created, this is the list which have 5 entries in it. So this is a type list. There is another way we can create the list. Here in place of these brackets, we will use the function list, where we have to pass an argument which will have the content of the list. This time also, we will have the data type as list. These are the two ways. Yes, you can use single quotes or double quotes, both. Based like either use single quotes or you can use double quotes. Both are same. Another data type which we use generally is dictionary. So dictionary store the data in the form of key value. So let us create a dictionary named as data, which you can create using curly braces. We are using. Then it has key value pair. So I'm writing the first key, academies. Suppose we have 5 academies. And then this is the academies, this is key, and this is corresponding value. Again, I'm creating another key. Value I'm writing as. So your dictionary is created. To check the data type, it is a DICT, that is dictionary. To access particular data, you have to pass the key. You will understood how you can use these data type, where you can use list and where you can use dictionary whenever we will code for some particular application. Next is writing the file statement in Python. No, this is not matrix. This is a key value pair data where your key is academies. Like here, if I want to access this IITR, what I will do? I can use academies index 0. So this is indexed array, a simple array. If I want to use this is index 0, this is index 1, 2, 3, 4. So to print triple ITDMJ, I have to use index 4. So this is indexed array. But these dictionaries are associated array. You have to use a particular key to access this associativity of the dictionary. So lists are indexed array and dictionaries are associative array. Because you don't have index for this participants. You have to pass the key to access particular data. If you want to create it like list, the list will be like this 5, 760. So you know that 5 is for academies and 760 is for participants. Yes, you can store. No, I can store 5 academies. No, this is not like that. The value of academies is 5. You cannot store 5 academies. If you want to store 5 academies, accordingly, your data will be changed. This is just a count. It's not like a 5 cross 760 matrix. Let's go ahead with if-else statement. So as we explained that here you have to use indented block in place of curly braces to define the scope of your statement or loop. So in Collaboratory or Jupyter, it will directly create the indentation. Let's write it. If I'm writing if true is equal to false, then I'm using colon. You can see it is directly indenting it. No, it is not like that. Suppose, look, I'm creating the dictionary again with a simple example. I'm creating name. Okay. Name, let me create it as my name, so that then I'm creating another key, that is contact. So to access the contact, what I can do, I can use data contact. So it will print. What is the issue? So you can see, I can access the contact, that is a key of this particular variable. To access the name, yes, you can say this is one example of JSON data type. Wherever you have key value pairs or associated array, then you can refer to dictionary in place of indexed array. So now let's go ahead with if else. I'm writing if true is equal to false. It will print no. Now I will remove the indentation and I will write else. Print yes. So you can observe that it can never be true, so it will print yes. Okay. If you want to write else if, there is a functionality elif. For else if, either you use else if or you have elif. Elif true is, let me write true is less than false, then print hello. So you can see, you can use if, elif and else like this. So now let's go ahead with while and for loop. So it is again same as the while loop you write in other languages, except the indentation and the curly braces replacement. So I'm using x as 1. The initial value of x is as 1. And I'm writing while x is less than 5. I will print the value of x. And I'm increasing the value of x by 1 every time. So it is printing from 1 to 4. When the value of x is 5, then it is not printing. So if you want to print for that, you can use do while. Okay, is it clear? If you have any doubt, you can ask. I'm giving you a minute. So somebody is asking what is the uses of colon. So generally, wherever you want to give the scope of particular statement or loop or function or class, then you have to use colon to specify the scope. Let me explain once again. Again, I'm right inside while I'm writing another statement. If x is equal to 4, so you can see indentation is creating. After if there is another indentation, it has created. Not the same as earlier one. So you can see it has created. So now let's go ahead with for loop. It is same as the other statements. So I think we have created earlier one list. We will write the loop based on this list. So I'm writing for academy in academies. So it will access the data from this list academies and access the data one by one in this particular local variable, that is academy. And then I'm printing. Can you please paste your error? So you can see it is pasting, it is printing all the values. There are multiple ways to write the for loops based on the requirement you can change. So I'm explaining another way. Can you please paste the complete code? There is the error just before elif. So again, I'm creating another for loop using a function named as enumerate. This enumerate function gives you two variables as output. One is index, one is variable. I'm enumerating over academies. It will give you two output. One is index, so I'm giving index as I. One is academy. Then I'm printing I, academy. So it will print 0, 0, IITR. So in place of 0, if I want to print 1, so I will write I plus 1. So 1 IITR, 2 MNITJ, like that it will print. What is the issue? I have to write in here. So now you can see. So you are getting the error because your indentation is not proper. You can see your elif should be just aligned with if. You can see this elif should be aligned with if, but in your case, it is aligned with print. So use shift tab or remove the space just before elif and else.
So one question is that if you are working with different applications, how can I relate? Actually, the question is not clear. What do we mean by different applications? How can I relate? We will definitely, because these are all, this is very elementary thing that we are going, but we will show you several applications where we will build applications basically and deploy solutions. That is the idea. But once the session is like over, you can ask this question. And so elif, use of enumerate command, how and where we can use them. Now,
yes, ma'am. So in
so
using
many
this
applications, yeah.
Yes.
Please continue.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Using this enumerate function, you can enumerate over a list that we have created over here. This will return you not only this single variable, that is the value, it also returns you the index. Sometimes we need the index as well, from which particular list belongs. If for and while loop are same as other language except this colon. In place of curly braces, we are using colon and indented block. So based on the requirement, this for loop changes. This is not the only way you can write the for loop. Next is functions. Yes, this is different than the enumeration in C++ data type. This is enumerate over a particular list. So to create functions in Python, you have to use the keyword def, that is defining a function. Function definition will start from a keyword named as def. After that, you have to write the name of the function. So I'm writing the function name is welcome. And inside this brackets, you can use the parameters you want to use. Currently, I'm not using any parameter. Later on, we will use. So this is the definition we have created. Def, name of the function. Here you can write the parameters you want to use. Then colon. Again, your data will be intended inside the function definition. To call the function, you have to directly write the function name and it will run the function. If you want to give any parameter, I'm using X here. And here I will append the value. So you can see the parameter is appended at the end of the variable. Next, we have to cover some more important libraries. So I'm going ahead with NumPy, that is numerical Python library, basically developed for mathematical computations on arrays. In most of the time, while running any code for your application, you will use NumPy to access the data. If you are working offline, you have to install the package. So for that, you have to write pip install NumPy. It will say that requirement already satisfied. Once you have installed, you can comment it using control question mark. Is it clear? Install NumPy in your offline notebook if you are working on Spider, Jupyter, or basic Python command line interface. Then after installing, you have to import the package. So for importing, you have to write import NumPy. To check the version of NumPy, you have to write NumPy dot underscore underscore version underscore underscore. So the current version of NumPy is 1.21.5. I request you to please do the same in your system. while importing particular package, you can also rename the package or alias the package in a shorter form. Like here we are aliasing NumPy as NP. Now using NumPy that we have aliased at NP, we are going to create one array. So this is one array, not a list nor dictionary. Simple mathematical, or you can say integer data type array we are creating. So this is the array we have created.
Can you scroll through the definition welcome function?
Somebody was asking, can we define a function? Yes, you can define function inside the function.
So
Okay,
can you, so it's it's about to be 7:45, Purnima.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to also answer some questions, perhaps.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think that you'll be able to finish?
Ma'am, I'll finish the basic packages. The PyTorch part we can cover in the next part.
We will cover later.
Yes.
And because there are some enthusiastic participants, some people are facing difficulties. So let us give some time to them also, right? And some people may be having some questions, like people are asking again and again that we will be providing video links. Yes, definitely we'll be providing video links. And we have already shared the file with you. So don't worry about whether the course material will be shared or not. Whenever we get slides from the speakers, we share. And we will do it at the end of the day, right? So I hope you will understand this, because YouTube links will be provided. So you can use YouTube links so that you can keep on revising them or referring them whenever you want. Thank you. Yep, Purnima, please continue.
Yes, thank you. So it is a NumPy array, and this is the way NumPy access the data in the form of array. That's why whenever you print your data or your NumPy array, it will be in the same form. Okay, here we are not printing. Here we are printing. Here it is just showing what is inside the data. When you use the print function, it will print the value. Now I think the issue is clear. So to check the data type, I'm using, so it will give NumPy array, NumPy ND array. You can see the data is not sorted. So in NumPy, there are n number of functionalities available. You can refer to any website or book to learn NumPy, because it itself takes maybe 1 to 2 days to complete the NumPy package. So you can refer to the NumPy website. So to sort the data, you can use np.sort and just pass the NumPy array. Now you can see it has sorted the result. Next is, as this is an array, you can check the shape as well. So most of the time you are dealing with NumPy array in your upcoming labs. So you can see this is a 6 comma. Why it is writing 6 comma? It is a single dimension, one dimension array. So that's why it is writing 6 comma. We can change the dimension of this variable into 2 dimension or multi-dimension. So currently we can make it as 3 cross 2 or 2 cross 3. So let's do that. Data is equals to data dot reshape. And here I'm passing 2 cross 3. That is 2 rows and 3 columns. Now when I will print data, you will see it is 2-dimensional. And this time when you print the shape, it will be 2 cross 3. To check the dimension, you can use data.ndim. So it is 2-dimensional. To check the size of the number of elements inside the array, you can use data.size. So it has 6 elements, 61 and 62. So this is one variable consisting of 2 cross 3 array data. I'm creating another variable with same size. One row with 3 elements and another row with 3 elements. So this is another variable we are creating. Please, somebody want to see line number 65 and 66. 65 has data.shape, and in 66 we are reshaping the 1-dimensional array to 2 dimensions. Then we are creating another array. And now we want to show you some results using these 2 arrays. First of all, when we will add these 2, it will be element-wise addition. The other thing is the concept of broadcasting, where when you multiply these 2, you will see that it is element-wise multiplication as well. So you can see it is element-wise multiplication, not matrix multiplication. This concept is called as broadcasting, where element-wise multiplication is performed in Python. NumPy provides you another important facility to create random variable or randomize the process. Whenever you want to use the random variables in your upcoming labs, you can use this NumPy package to create the generate the random variables. In random variables, you have to use a seed value so that your result will be consistent each time. I think I have to repeat the line that when you randomize some variable, when you rerun, as it is a randomization process, when you rerun, you will get another random value. But in case of your codes, you don't want every time that the value should be changed. You want to fix the randomization. So there is a value or a function called seed is available, which helps you so that your randomization process is consistent based on particular number. So that we can use np.random.seed. So inside seed, you have to give the seed value, seed number. So I'm writing seed 10. So my randomization will be based on 10. So this time I'm creating one random. With the help of this random, I'm creating one array of size 2 cross 2. So you can see it is 0.77. Again, when I'm rerunning, it is giving me result same. But when I will change the value of seed, this value will also be changed. I think this is
a couple of questions here.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me scroll through. So use of enumerate command, deployment of, can you scroll through the welcome function? I think you've done that. Not
Yes.
able to import NumPy, one question. Can you please tell us how to declare output arguments? Not able to import NumPy, question number 1. And question number 2, can you tell us how to declare output arguments?
If you are working offline, you have to install the NumPy package using pip install NumPy. If you are working on Colab, first of all, you have to import. Please check your spelling. There should not be any typo. Then you can import it.
Samir, can you also write down on the chat box for everyone so that
somebody was asking, can we get the random integers? Yes, you can get the random integers using randint function, np.random.randint. Yes, ma'am.
Abhik has asked for repeating this random use of seed.
So generally, to get the consistency in the random variables, we use this seed function. That generally the randomization is depends on a particular number which you will give inside the seed function. So suppose I'm giving seed value as 100. Every time when I will run this random function to get the random variable, the values will be same. So your result will be consistent. Otherwise, every time when you rerun the code, your result will be different because you're getting a new number or new value. So I think now move to the next package, that is Pandas. Pandas is another package which is generally we use for data, analyze the data, you have in the form of data frames, the basic data type of pandas we use. So if you are working offline, you have to install pandas using install pandas. Then again, to import it, you have to write import pandas. And for aliasing, I'm writing pandas as PD. So the basic data type we use with pandas is data frame, PD dot data frame. It accesses the data in the form of dictionaries. So this is the place where you need dictionary inside the data frame. So I'm creating dictionary with key as name, and inside this I'm using list. You can see name is the key. In key I'm providing value as list. So list, let me give the same list again of this academies. This is the value. I'm creating another key value pair in the same dictionary with variable as count, which will have the participant count in each academy. I'm randomly writing some value. So I've created this. So when you enter this, you will see that it is in the form of rows and columns. So your data will entertain it as rows and columns. Line number 81 to 88. So you can access this particular notebook from the shared drive. We will upload at the end of the session. We will upload this notebook in the drive. So if something is left, you can access it because it's already 8. So I think.
Purnima, one thing you can do, because you'll be using pandas in another program, or Samir will be perhaps using. So you can demonstrate at that point, right? So
Yes.
that we are not missing anything. Some people are asking that because it was written PyTorch, so please cover. See, everything has a time constraint. So if there are too many questions, we will, and that we have to answer also, because otherwise your learning will not, I mean, you want to learn, those people who want to learn, they will not be getting a chance to speak with the, the resource person. So we will be covering, because PyTorch is presently being very much used in machine learning programs. So we will be covering it at some other point, okay? With this, I would like to stop this recording. I hope you have covered, Purnima.
Yes, ma'am.